All right, so let's be honest. Landing an interview is exciting, but acing it, that's an entirely different challenge. And you can prepare, you can research, you can practice, but yet when the big moment actually comes, nerves usually take over, or even the questions catch you off guard. So if you've ever walked out of an interview thinking, oh my gosh, I could have answered that a lot better, or why didn't I say so and so instead? You're not alone. The interview process can feel very overwhelming, but the good news is that it does not have to be. And so that's why I'm so excited to introduce Ashley Cash, a top-tier resume writer. She's also an interview coach who knows exactly how to help job seekers own their interviews with confidence. And so in today's video, Ashley is breaking down the biggest interview mistakes, how to answer some of the toughest questions with ease, and some strategies to showcase your skills in a way that makes hiring managers say, we need this person on their team. So if you're ready to start interviewing like a pro, let's get into all of the juicy details.
Okay, so you've got the interview. How do you go into any interview scenario and come out with an offer? A little bit about me. You guys already heard my bio, but like you already heard, had an explosive career with some big brands that you know and love, like Coca-Cola, Whirlpool, and Globe Life. I had the opportunity to do a lot of hiring, sometimes firing, and leading teams. But those experiences afforded me the opportunity to get the inside scoop on how hiring and salary decisions are made. And after, a midlife career crisis, 2 babies, and a dream that I really felt was put on my heart by the Lord, I created coaching and courses to teach clients how to get hired and get paid. And I also do resume writing. You can visit my website or connect with me on LinkedIn for more info on how I can do that for you. So about my clients, they are mid to executive level professionals. These folks are high earners and high achievers, or desire to be those things. And they come from a host of industries, all the way from HR to data scientists to executives, marketing, you name it, right? My clients do it. And so, and you can see it as a gift on there. They have the one thing in common is they want to get hired and they want to get paid. So you're in the right place if your good job and salary are no longer good enough. And I know in today's market, you may be one of the folks who are now looking for a good job and salary. So if that's you, you're in the right place. And so if you are here and you want to learn more about interviewing for when the interview comes, you're in the right place. If you are here and you are having trouble landing interviews, you're still in the right place because I'm a resume writer. So if you're not getting interviews, it might be your resume. So I might drop a few gems around that as well. So a couple quick things what I'm going to share with you tonight. We're going to talk about how to prep for an interview. Some of it will probably seem obvious, but some others may be just some good reminders. I'm going to share with you what interviewers are looking for. And that's probably, the most beneficial thing that I'm going to share with you tonight is what exactly is an interviewer looking for. I didn't say what are they trying to hear, right? Because nobody hears a robot. Well, there may be a few bots, I don't know. But for the most part, all of us are human beings. And so understanding, hey, what is that audience that I'm going to be sitting in front of looking to hear is going to help you create your money stories, which we're going to talk about tonight too, to help you get the offer. And then we're going to go over questions everyone hates. And then we're going to also talk about the methodology I use for my 6-figure professional and executive clients that help them land high-paying jobs at high-profile companies. And that is the STORY method, which, now a lot of times you'll hear people talk about the STAR method. If you're not familiar with the STAR method, no big deal. You can, Google that later if you want. But the STORY method is superior, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. All right, so first things first, let's talk about interview prep checklist, especially if you're going to be interviewing virtual. However, these tips apply to in-person interviews as well. So either way, the first thing you want to do is test out the platform. If you are going to be interviewing on like Teams or Google Meet or Zoom, these platforms oftentimes will have updates. I know Zoom is notorious for not loading properly. And so you want to test out the platform, make sure you know where the settings are, how to get off mute, all those things a day or two beforehand. If you're particularly nervous about the tech, or you're known for not being as like tech savvy, you could possibly even ask the interviewer for a quick tech check where just you can log into the platform and make sure that your camera is operating properly. Your audio sounds good. Because what you don't want is day of, and I mean, this happens to the best of us, day of, and you're like, wait, my Zoom client won't open, Teams won't download. I thought I could do this from my phone and I can't, right? Like all those things that like heighten the situation, they give you anxiety, they throw you off your game, and they don't always allow you to give that good first impression that you want, right? Especially when you're going for, high paying roles or heck, any role, you want to come in like a professional, cool, calm, collected, competent with the technology. So I cannot urge you enough to test out the platform, download anything you need to download, update your apps. If you're going to be doing it from your phone, that's going to save you just so much nerves and get you so many points with the interviewer right out of the gate. The second thing is get dressed and put on your cape. Now, what I mean by that is, I know, especially if it's a virtual interview or even an in-person interview, the inclination to maybe be casual, but as the kids say, put your stuff on, right? Put on the outfit that makes you feel like $1,000,000, right? Like, I would not wear anything that makes me feel self-conscious. That's a little bit too tight. Something you're going to be constantly tugging at. And when I say put on your cape, meaning what makes you feel like, your best you? What makes you feel 10 feet tall? Because even though we're going to be talking a lot about, what to say and how to navigate an interview, feeling confident, being dressed well. I know for me, something that makes me feel confident is a red lip and a couple sprays of my favorite perfume. Like, I have those two things and I feel like I can take on the world. So whatever it is that makes you feel, Miriam says she's got a hype playlist. Yes. Absolutely. Like, I need to rap some trap songs on my way there. My
right, get that energy up.
Yes, to get your energy up. So whatever your case, in Miriam's case, it's a hype playlist. In my case, it's a red lip, right? An interview is not the day to start experimenting because it's not going to make you feel confident. Oh, yes. You're probably not going to get the look that you're going for, right? It's not the time to try. It's like Thanksgiving, right? Like, it's not the day to try your new mac and cheese. No. Instead, show up how you show up in an outfit that represents you, that you look and feel good in. It doesn't have to be brand new. It doesn't have to be designer, but it does have to be something that represents you well. So just the question in the chat said, is it necessary to put on makeup? Absolutely not. As long as you're moisturized, got on a little chapstick so you're not crusty, wear and look how you feel comfortable, right? If more than anything, you want to be well groomed, but yeah, if you don't wear makeup, don't put it on. So the other thing is, again, understanding that if you're virtual, especially having your phone or your device or iPad, whatever you're using, have that charged and possibly even consider a backup device. Like if your device is janky or prone to, mess up or whatever, if you end up getting kicked out, have a backup device if and where possible so that you can jump right back in. But the biggest thing, especially if you're going to be doing your interview, let's say from your phone or your computer, is have it charged. And if it's not charged, have a charger handy and set up before. The last thing you want to do is be on an interview and like sentence or make a question and get put out. And you might be wondering, you might be thinking to yourself, actually, you think that like someone that's happened to and has, right? Imagine being a business owner, inviting like 1,000 people to a webinar and your darn laptop dies.
Oh my goodness, no.
Yeah, don't be like me. Be better than me. Okay, so these are really experiences. And it's so easy, right, to just get caught up in the hoopla and not, and miss these things. But I'm bringing these up again because these are what I consider like the easy things that can throw you off your game, but also easy things that can and help you stand out in the world. Good lighting and clean your camera, right? So again, if you're going to be using a webcam or your phone camera, make sure you have good lighting and clean your camera beforehand. And if you're going to be conducting a virtual interview in your car, because maybe you're at work or you're on the go, just let the interviewer know ahead of time. I personally think it's absolutely okay if you need to conduct a virtual interview in your car to do so, but let them know, say, hey, I'm going to be conducting this interview during normal, business hours, my normal work hours. And so I'll be in my car, I'll be quiet, it'll be secluded, but I just don't want you to be thrown off by that. And they'll be fine with it. The other thing is researching the company and the interviewer. So you don't want to be that person where the person asks you something like, hey, what do you know about the company? Or what do you know about what we do? And you're like, what company is this again? Right? Like, it's just, it's a little bit unprofessional, and it also shows a lack of interest. So take a few minutes, Google the company, Google what they do, and make sure that you're prepared to talk a little bit about why you are interested in the company. And you can also do the same with your interviewers. You can look them up on LinkedIn or connect with them on LinkedIn and just read a little bit about them, their background. I'm not saying you need to, do a book report on them, but just having some quick facts like, oh, hey, I see you've been with the company a number of years, or you went to this school, or you're from this, hometown. Anything that you can use to create a connection point with the interviewer is a good thing. Almost done here. Prep at least 3 questions to ask, whether at the end or throughout the interview. The reason that you want to have questions prepped, well, one, you're interviewing them as much as they are interviewing you. So think about, hey, what is it that I need to know to make a decision to come and work here? And then the other thing is, it shows interest. It's no different than in our personal relationships when we meet someone new, and it's like they don't ever ask me anything about me or like what I'm into or nothing, right? And so it's easy to feel like, okay, this person must not obviously be very interested. So prepare 3 questions, even if it's a question like J.K. Shea put in the chat about the company being faith-based. Typically, a faith-based company, you'll find that on their website. They're typically going to be pretty loud and proud about it. You can also look at like their vision and mission statement. But that's absolutely a question that you can ask in an interview. And then the last thing is know your money stories, which I'm going to teach you guys more about here in just a second. But nobody is an expert on you and what you do and what you can do more so than you. And the interview is the opportunity for you to tell and convince the other people sitting across from you who you are and what you can do. Okay, so to illustrate that, okay, here we go. To illustrate that, I think visually, if you think about an interview or think about what the interviewers are looking for, this is the perfect visual for that. They are looking for you to connect the dots between your skills, your experiences, and your results to that job. You're the only person that can do that. So they're going to ask you questions, but it's up to you to really create that bridge or connect the dots for them that proves to them that you can do the job. There's literally no other way for you to get the job if you don't connect the dots for them. And when I say connect the dots, meaning that you can tie what you've done, your education, your experience, your accomplishments, and tie that directly to what is going to be asked of you at that job. If you do that, you will get the job every single time. Because what you're going to do is the interviewer is going to start to think, I want them to come and do that here. I need someone that can do that or has done that on this team. So that's why this works. All right, now this is a slide you're going to want to take a screenshot of. If you are wanting to prepare those money stories, right? Meaning the things that get interviewers excited, the things that showcase your skill. If you're going to start taking inventory of those things and putting together those money stories, this is how you're going to do it. Okay, this is literally the framework. So again, screenshot this for your next interview. So you want to be thinking about, okay, if I look at the job description or the job reviews or people in my network that have this job, what is it exactly that I'm going to be doing, right? The job description is going to tell you. And then you want to be thinking about, okay, when I think about my skills, my experiences, my education, what exactly did I do? Not the list of tasks that I had to check off every day, but what did I do to impact the company by way of people, projects, or processes, right? So we already want to be thinking about our skills and experiences just the same way that a company is thinking about what they need in terms of outcomes. And then the last thing is you want to be thinking about the so what. What was the benefit? If you find yourself, whether on your resume or in an interview, talking about a task, right? Like, oh, I was assigned to do this, or I come in every day, I run my reports. That's cool. But the people that get hired are the people that can showcase a tangible outcome for the company. Now, I already know, I already know that some people might be thinking, okay, well, I'm not in a role where there's a lot of metrics, or I'm not in a role that I'm privy to the outcomes, and that's okay because you can always tie a so what um, to what you do, right? So in that example we talked about around running reports every day. Well, what's the so what? Why do you run reports every day, right? So you may not know the amount of revenue that that those reports help generate, but you do know that those revenues perhaps are how another team gets their workflow for the day, or that report helps determine how many people need to be scheduled for the day, right? So you got to always be thinking about, okay, I do this task that I've been assigned, but what's the business benefit of it? And so you can use language like increased or decreased or other metrics. But if you don't have that, don't freak out. Don't worry about it. Just know what the business outcome or the so what behind it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about, well, actually, how do I know what to say? So we already talked a little bit about this. The first thing is inventory your skills. What are you good at? What have you done? What outcomes have you helped achieve? Now, if you wait until the night before an interview, or you go into an interview and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna just leave. Like, I'm gonna just right off the dome. I'm gonna freestyle it. It doesn't work, right? And we know it doesn't work because we get nervous, we get tongue tied. And if you're anything like me, I'll have have an argument with my husband, and then 3 days later be like, "This is what I should have said."
Right? Oh,
Tell
boy.
me if you can relate in the chat. You know, you have a same way. You know, I'll be thinking about what I should have said to you guys in this live a couple days later. And so the way that you go into an interview, not only get the job, but make sure you say what it is that you want to say or say what you need, is to prepare ahead of time. And again, I don't mean like the night before. I mean like now. Start thinking about what am I good at? What skills can I lead with? And then the next thing you're going to do is put a story to those skills, right? What do those skills look like at work? So that's when I talk about like the money stories. I want you to come up with a couple examples of, hey, when I did this at work, this good thing happened. For example, I saw somebody in the chat say they wanted to get into tech. I don't remember exactly the type of role. About, okay, just count that lend themselves to the job that I want to do, right? And what's the story around that? What was the context, or what was the problem that we were asked to solve? What were the actions that I took? And finally, right, make yourself the hero of the story. What did I do to get it done and also get results? So you always want to be thinking about it in, hey, I'm not just doing this because they told me to, but how is what I'm doing impacting the business? If you connect the dots for an interviewer like that, when I tell you, you will have more offers than you will know what to do with it. Because people, frankly, don't. They get in interviews, they ramble, they talk too long about the wrong things, but they never drive it home to say, I did this thing and that resulted in this outcome. I'm telling you, like they'll be like begging you to start if you just connect the dots. Okay, so now let's talk about questions everyone hates. But tell me about yourself is the question to nail. So just again, right? Like this is the one you don't want to freestyle. And believe it or not, hiring managers, guilty, can make decisions about whether they want to hire you or they want to continue listening to you in that first interaction, in that first tell me about yourself. So if you come out of the gate and you're like, well, my name is Ashley and I live in Dallas, right? Because that's not what they're asking you. They're saying, tell me about yourself, but really they're saying, tell me the skills, experiences, and outcomes that you have that are going to make me want to hire you. That's what they're asking. They're just using, that generic question. But this is the question you want to get right, and this is the one you want to prepare ahead of time. So let me give you the framework. Again, hopefully this is rendering in a way that you can screenshot, but this is how you want to start it. So you don't have to start with, well, first my name is Ashley, and I grew up in Dallas, and I've got 2 little girls. Nope. This is the framework. You're going to start with, well, I've been in the digital marketing industry for X number of years. And in that, I've had experiences ranging from completing projects to SEO or working on projects with wellness clients, right? So I'm just kind of filling in the blanks as I go. But that's your framework. Now, you see the difference between starting with, my name, where I'm from, because that's allowing you to kind of like get your brain, your thoughts together. Get straight to it. Just prepare this ahead of time, and they're already going to be interested. Oh, you've been in my industry for a while, or you've worked on these type of projects, or you have experience with these type of clients. Then you're going to say something like, I'm most proud of the work I did on X, right? That's that money story. That's the example that you're going to give them where they're going to be like, whoa, we do that here. We could use somebody that could accomplish that for us. But you're going to give that specific example, again, related to the type of job that you're seeking. And then you're going to put a bow on it, pretty Tiffany bow, and say, I'm interested in this company or I'm interested in this role because. So that's how you're going to tie it all together so that they know that you are researched and that you know that why you're fit for the role.
That's good. Good stuff. I love what you mentioned about the money story. It's connecting it together, creating a storyline that will draw them in and get to know you at the same time. That's great.
That's it. That's money story. That's money for them, and it's money for you. That's why I call it.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
All right, let's keep going. What are your salary requirements? I saw someone also put that in the chat. They hate that question. Here's another one. You guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know why the text is not rendering very well, but I'll read it to you so you can jot it down or catch the replay. Again, my apologies, but you can say something like, I'm looking for a position that's the best fit for my skills and expertise where I can make an impact. I would expect the salary would align with market value. And that's a whole nother conversation about why you want to answer it this way. And then you want to answer or finish your statement with, can you share the salary range with me? Now, I know we don't have time to get into negotiations, but essentially you want to get them to share the salary range with you so that you don't accidentally lowball yourself and anchor any future negotiations with a low number. That's all I'll say about that. But this is the script that you can use. Next slide, bear with me. If they press, because sometimes they will, like, no, just give me a number, you can then follow up with, well, I'm not sure if I know enough about the role and key deliverables to say right now, but I'd love to continue the conversation. What is the salary range that's been set for this position? So you're going to ask another direct question. Again, this is not a salary negotiation call, but sometimes people will try and play like, oh, we don't really know what the pay is. Yes, you do. Because the way that job recs work in corporate and most entities is you say, hey, I want to hire someone. This is the budget that I'm willing to pay them. You get it approved, and then it goes to the recruiter to post online, etc. So I'm just giving you that little bonus gem around. They know. They're just trying to get you to say a number so that, again, they can anchor you sometimes lower than the range, right? Because everybody loves a sale. Everybody loves a coupon. So just be mindful of that. They might also try to anchor you with what you currently make. So if you're asked that question, either what are you currently making or what your salary requirements are, the two prompts I provided are the way that you answer that question. But these are things that you can say, right? You can say, I'm looking for career growth. Um, that I've had, these are just options, right? You don't say all of these, but choose one. That I have always had a long term goal of working for this company. I'm looking for new challenges. So the last role that I held in a corporate setting, a day ever comes where I'm looking for like a full time role, I'm absolutely going to share with them that that season had ended. You know, I had maxed out what I had wanted to do there, and so now I'm looking for some new challenges for me. And I'm totally okay with saying like I was ready for something new, bigger, better, etc. So those are some ways that you can answer the questions that everyone can.
All right, guys, so that is all I have for you guys today. The interview was a great success. I really had fun talking to Ashley Cash. If you guys have any questions or you want to connect with her, please do check out the description box down below. You can find all of her specs down there. And if you have any questions about interviewing or interview prep or so forth, let us know in the comments section and we will address those comments ASAP so that you can have what it takes to land your next job with ease and confidence. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If it added value to you in your job search, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe for many more videos just like this one. Subscribe to be in the know because we often do these virtual job fairs and you definitely want to be in the live audience where you can ask questions and pick the brains of these experts that I bring onto the channel. All right, so stay in the loop by simply subscribing. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and we will chat very soon in the next video.